Good night, fellow punchers. The clock on the wall is 10:20. If you could have space to put up a clock on the wall. I'm down here in the Imperial Hotel in the long hours, in a nook or a corner or whatever you might call it. It's just this width, and it's 2 foot 20 inches, I'd say. A corner here, just placed for the laptop and a sheet of paper left on one side. The long hours know now how not to waste space, I must say. And the bed, if you can see it in the background there, it's like a bunk bed or a bed first, and then there's a big double mattress on it. So I hope I don't keel over out of it tonight. We left Trim this morning. We're in the Knightsbridge Hotel, down for breakfast about 7:45. Never seen a setup like it. The tea and the coffee in a sort of one of those, in a big, like a Bunsen burner, the big containers. You can make coffee like that, but definitely not tea. Just like treacle or tar coming out of it. And I thought it was water, and I was looking for the tea bags. But why or how did they expect to do that at 7 o'clock and at 8 o'clock that the tea it'd be anyways drinkable at all? It was absolutely pure piss. I never witnessed anything like it. I asked a couple of them. Well, there was no staff. There was no sugar on the table. There was no salt and pepper. There was no spoon for cereal. You sort of had to help yourself where to sit and get everything yourself. I mentioned to she was a foreigner. She was more or less she thought she was in charge, but she couldn't understand me anyway. I was saying to her, when did you start this? She said about 2 years ago. And I said, I've been there several times since, and I've never seen it that. I used to always get a pot of tea made, but why don't they just put the water into it, leave the tea bags one side, fair handier. So they can't get staff. But there was a couple going around gathering up the plates, asking you had you a good breakfast, and everything was very bad. About 4 out of 10. The only thing that was good was the toast and the marmalade and the butter. That was it. So we headed off and went on through Clane, crossed into Kilkenny, got on the motorway. We're in the castle and they went a tour of it, and then we headed on to Dungarvan, toured the castle there. Beautiful. I've never done it before as many times as I've been in Dungarvan. We went into the castle, a lovely room to go into, and a video about the history of the Dungarvan castle lasts about 10 or 12 minutes. Well recommended, I must say. And then we went to the moorings for the lunch at a table booked for 2:15. Not the best I had in it. The roast beef was, well, it wasn't top quality. It was all right. And the my waddy was the best part of it, I thought. I'm not getting picky, but I just give a general or an honest opinion on everything I eat or go. And we went on to Middleton then. We went into the Jameson factory, hot whiskey, there were those taster samples, and an Irish coffee for the women. And we headed to here. Traffic was great today. Came over in less than 20 minutes from Middleton to Cork to the hotel. I doubt I had a pint in Canties. A lot of langers must be out early today because they were well twisted, a scatter of them. And I had one in the Bowron. Grand band in it. I'd love to have waited longer. But we're on the road in the morning we're leaving at 8. So I'll be down for breakfast at 7:15, so I'll have to get a bit of shut-eye. Went for a walk round about. Grand, no rain, but not a real summer's night either. We had 3 selections today. Should have made a bit of profit. I say we broke even. Sure, Socks was disappointing. There's a lot of money for it, but off to shades of odds on. I was listening to that and put it up on the dash on the travelling from Dungarvan. The one in front, I done a reverse forecast, of course, to second and third. Couldn't see a 40-1 winning, but sure, that's racing. Brilliant Light, third horse to win on the turf, on the flat, and over jumps for us. held on, looked to be in trouble after the last, but as I said last night, we'd parked the bus just after the last for fear it might need encouragement, and encouragement it got. And held on, I think 11-8-64 was SP, it was 15-8-2-1 last night. And then step dance. Why that wasn't placed, I do not know. He gave up on it totally and finished 6th, and they were paying 5 places. Very disappointed with the effort in the home stretch up the last 100 yards. I know he wasn't going to win it, but he needed effort. He'd never ride one of mine anyway if I had one again. That's a certainty. On to tomorrow. I've two that I had marked out for next time, and I'm going with them. Miss Nightfall is one, back in Windsor, to the scene of the crime where it ran pretty decent first time out. Started slow, finished well enough. Behind, and there's money for it that day, which is unusual for Fanshaw's horses, because normally above all stables they need the run. Then the last day there's money for it again. It went off. I think it was 15-8 favourite, but it broke slow, and the winner, one trained by Richard Hughes, got a flyer of a start. And I said straight away when I got a text from a fella, I said he'll win at 6, back at 6, he'll win the next time out, was what I said. So hopefully I'm right. The winner got a great start. Oh, what he had Langers? Come on, there we go.
Finley Marsh has gone by a long way out here on Star of Memas. Leads by a couple of lengths from Golden Paradise. In third place, Pure Artistry, and Miss Nightfall. Star of Memas picked up well. Quickly put 3 lengths over the field. Golden Paradise and Miss Nightfall are struggling to get Star of Memas back. And this is a blazing display. Settled quickly, eased down. Finley Marsh for Richard Hughes. Javert Abdullah, Star of Memas.
It had run at 6 first time out in Windsor. I just have a peep at the way it finished over 6, which is a good one first.
May just be showing ahead now. Do My Magic behind them. Kudos is staying on the outside together with Dragonfly and Amber. They're up towards and inside the final furlong. Priyanka the leader, and she's leading by a good couple of lengths then. And this is a pretty impressive debut. Priyanka is storming clear for Kieran O'Neill. Alice Haynes wins by about 4 lengths. Kudos second. Miss Nightfall shaped well in third. Handled with care.
Got into a bit of bother, the gap closed, wasn't gutsy enough and not enough experience to go through it. While we check the price, I think it's a 2-to-1 shot. 2-to-1. Win bet. We go to another win bet in Chepstow. We have a horse here that we back to win a 20-to-1 once upon a time called Kitog. Kitog is the Irish for a left-handed or left-footed person in Ireland. Even though it had a good run the last time in Bath, I think it needs Bath sort of ground. And I'm on Ballsbridge for Ginny Candish, and she's going all right. She's 4 for 13 in the last 14 days. That's over 30% strike rate. This started off its career in Chipper to second in a maiden last October in the Naas behind Frazil. Went to Jenny Candish from Coolmore then. Ran a good race at a big price. I noted it in June there in 22-to-1 in Pontefract. And if we look at this race here in the way an amateur handicap, Matt Brown was in the saddle, but I'd be better, I think. This is him here. Keep an eye on him.
We're just beginning to take close
closer order as they come down to where it starts
Here he
getting
is,
interesting. 2.5 furlongs left to run. And it's Star of St. James. Stephanie Dory has the lead, but on the far side, Loom Large. And Hannah Crawford is staying on really well. Then behind these in third, Ballsbridge is asked to improve. On the far side, Concert Boy is beginning to stay on as well. Coming down towards the final furlong, Star of St. James is the one they've got to catch. Coming late is Ballsbridge, who's coming with a good-looking run. But it's Star of St. James and Stephanie Dory, who is coming away to win it and wins it in second place. That was Ballsbridge staying on third on the far side.
Ballsbridge, not Ballbridge. Ballbreaker. But that winner went on to win his next run as well, Star of St. James, and was fourth since. That was off 48. One off 51. Went up to 60 and was fourth there lately. But the soft ground didn't help as well. So, being a 4-year-old, George Wood is riding. Now, George hasn't rode a winner in a while, but he has rode a winner for the trainer. Out of 8 rides for Ginny Candish up here. He's a win and a place. Like he must have been a decent enough win, raised 25 grand. Well, we'll check. We're going to find out what horse it was, won't we? Spirit Genie. That's it there, I'd imagine. Rode it 3 times, 25 grand. It adds up. And then one each way bet in Roscommon tomorrow evening. I won't be there. There's a 4-to-1 the field. The one that catches my fancy is Arch Enemy. It's a 14-to-1 shot. For Patrick McGee. The party that I'm with, actually, her name is Patricia McGee. So this for Mick Mulvaney. It won in the Cora of 66 over 6 furlongs in 2021. Changed into Patrick McGee. Won in Ballinrobe of 65 on good ground. One in Dundalk, in good old Fundalk of 60 to suggest, and that was over 1.5 miles as well. It was its first run on the flat over 1.5 miles. It beat a decent horse there, Grey Solution, just 5-1. So that was good to Ferrum, and 1.5 miles. But it has run with a bit of cut in the ground in Galway last year, yielding to soft 8.5 furlongs. And that would be nearly 10, you could imagine, with the hill. So it done all right, and it ran on heavy. So ground is all right, it seems. But if we look to the race in Galway this year, when it ran at 1.5 miles, went off 20-1. Ran on well. Now this is him here at the back of the pack nearly, as they take the turn for home. Tipping her up the hill.
Not Hypnos, ridden along as Vedesha, hidden land on the inside.
That was a decent enough race. Lady Christie, that was out today, it was second. But if we look at its last run then, it was in Leopardstown. The distance was too short, it looks like. It was behind Walhan. Walhan is decent, he got first run, turn for home. This was a long way back, it stayed on to be second, beating 2.5 lengths. Decent enough field. So the ground, it'll be drying out. Tomorrow's promised a good day. It's not going to be, it's cold and soft yielding in place there. That can't be right. And I'm hoping it's drying out, that should be yielding ground. And at 16 to 1 and then paying 14 to 1 and paying 5 places. That it would have a shot. We're going to go. The Bucks are going golfing in Duke's Golf Club. It's in Glen Bay, and that's about an hour and 3/4. It's off Killarglen direction, so we have to head for Killarney and out the ring of Kerry, out that road in reverse. So I don't know what to do with the two ladies. They'll be gone 4 hours. They're on about eating in the golf club, but I want to knock that on the head and bring them back to Killarney and have the spud somewhere. So we'll see. Kerry falconry, I might check that out, or sheep or something to put them out for a couple of hours. Where to go drinking. Bash the bookies, over and out.